So energy can't be created or destroyed. And this is why you're going to live forever, because you are energy. In fact, everything is energy, right? Mind and matter are just different conditions of the same thing. Once we strip away all of these nouns in our language, we'll see this truth. And so if that is the case, which is increasingly becoming a popular sort of statement in scientific circles, it seems like an ice cube is no longer existent when it melts into the water. Of course, it's the same thing that's in a different state or a different phase, and then as it goes also for when it melts into steam, and we could say that it doesn't exist anymore, and you could say that you're dead, but it's the same for the transmutation of consciousness. We are currently incarcerated by these bodies, but behind the scenes is our consciousness in of itself. And this consciousness is actually immortal, and this is what's known as the immortality of the soul, especially if you're familiar with like Freemasonic traditions. And we know that actually we're not these bodies, right? The body is temporary. If you're familiar with the 7 principles of man by way of people like Annie Besant and Blavatsky in theosophical circles, you'll see that there's a 7-fold nature of man: the lower quaternary and the upper triad or trinity. And the upper trinity is actually our higher selves and what we actually are. If you think of the Atman, the monad, the buddhi, these planes of existence are actually the sort of space from which we've emerged and descended into matter, which gives rise to this lower quaternary, which is actually fleeting, transient. So in a sense, our personalities aren't immortal, but our individuality is. And so actually what happens is, if you can elevate your consciousness to such a point where the difference between mind and matter is no longer as much of a chasm as it was, you can start to remember these different personalities that you've embodied throughout your different lives, and you'll see the truth that is known in these esoteric circles, that you do in fact live forever. And so this becomes quite an interesting thing to realise, especially when you've been through Western education and you're taught that, hey, we just live and we die, and that's all there is to it, and you don't even bother challenging it, because otherwise you're a religious nut, and it's all just fantastical and ridiculous, all of these religious notions. And that's not to say that a lot of the religions on this planet have been usurped and unfortunately inverted in some extent. But it's also to realise that atheism in of itself has become a religion. That as long as you're in a sort of state of belief and skepticism without mind knowing, then you are trapped in a religion. And only through a direct experience can you start to realise the truth that I've just outlined, which is that we do live forever. The universe is indestructible in of its core. Okay, the true mechanisms behind which has actually even created this world is light, is energy, is vibration. All of these things ultimately are not impermanent but eternal, and it sort of creates the illusion of this finite nature, which is true of the lower planes, and we are currently in those lower planes. And so that's why it seems to us to be the case that we only live a few decades and then we're done. But the good news is that is not the case. So anyway, I'm going to be starting to make some more videos again when I come off of this fast. I'm currently doing a 7-day water fast. I'm on like day 4, so my energy's been a little bit all over the place whilst the glycogen is released from my cells. And I'm going into like ketosis, so yeah, maybe I'll make a video about that, about the benefits of water fasting and so on and so forth. Like, it's just various subjects to help to raise consciousness and to like improve health. Because remember, that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to sort of increase longevity and increase like the abundance and well-being that we're all trying to experience on this planet. That's really what is behind newearth.land. So do check that out if you want to be truly free on this planet, so we can start to elevate consciousness and live in a better world as a result. That's really what I'm trying to do on this channel. If you're interested in that, then do subscribe and join in, because remember, this is not something that can be done for us, it has to be done by us. We are the people, we are the ones that have to change this world, right? It's not going to come from any politician or government. So do become proactive in this movement towards true freedom and the ability to live our lives the way that we truly want to. Yeah, like I say, you can learn all about that at newearth.land. Anyway, yeah, thanks very much for watching. See you next time.